And look, folks, I have the honor of introducing our guest speaker, and he was nice enough and pleasant enough, literally without a lot of notice, to say, I'll come on the call, because everybody was so excited about hearing him yesterday. And I got excited about hearing him as well, because sometimes in this journey, and I've been on a 33-year journey, sometimes in the journey, you don't know the lives you touch and the people you meet. And we just happened to start talking yesterday due to Miss Roz Raines got us on the line together on a three-way. And this and I hate to say young man, because that sounds so, but God, I got to say that sometimes, but at 61 years old, everybody I meet seems young to me now. But actually, I met him, and he was 19 years old, 20 years old, and a student at Morehouse. And I didn't even realize this until we chatted yesterday, and he reminded me that in 1996, he actually was introduced in network marketing through a good friend of mine, Dr. Powell, who I personally sponsored in the industry back in 1996, and Dr. Powell personally sponsored this young man. And so we met 20 years ago, and watch this, and he retired at 22 years old. Finished up school, he's at Morehouse, finished school, and then retired, and he's been a free man now for almost 20 years. So let's give a warm, well-filled, worldwide welcome, have that applause button ready, for Mr. Brian Beane. Good morning, Mr. Beane.
Mike, man, I feel like I'm on the radio. That's awesome, man. Can you hear me, Mr. Best?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Man, it's nothing like somebody introducing you and all you hear is cricket at the end of the introduction. So I'm glad that worked. I appreciate it, man. I feel like this is a radio show, man. This is pretty cool. And yes, we met 20 years ago. Yes, you impacted my life. It's incredible. You're one of my first mentors and didn't even know it. So it's my honor, man. It's my honor to be on the call with you guys this morning. I understand you guys heard the Get Mad, watched the Get Mad video and heard the Get Mad audio. And all I can say is I'm grateful, man. God has been great. Life is wonderful. I have zero complaints at all. If I did, it wouldn't even matter anyway. So I just want to get you guys, you already had some of my inspiration this morning. I just want to give you guys a little personal touch. Because people hear about my success, retirement at 22. I've been very, very successful in the industry, but a lot of people don't understand what causes that kind of growth, what causes that kind of level of success, what causes, what does it take to go from 5 figures to 6 figures to 7 figures and work from home. And I want to give you guys 3 quick things, and I may only dive into one, Mr. Best, because I don't want to take up a lot of you guys' time, but I'm going to give you 3 quick things that actually caused me to grow in this industry. Real simple. One, I want you to write down what causes growth. One is a sense of opportunity. You got to have a sense of opportunity. A lot of you guys are in the business, but the business is not really in you. And that's one thing about me is that I had to get off my job. I was frustrated with my situation, as you guys know, but I wasn't just in the business. The business was in me. I wasn't just in the industry was in me. And there's a big difference. So you got to have a sense of opportunity. 2, you got to have leadership. Everything rises and falls with leadership. So I made it a point. I think the largest organization I built was about 62,000. I made it a point to see to it that I took care of my 10%, my talented 10. And those were my leaders. So if I had about 60,000 people, I had about 6,000 leaders. If you got 100 people, you got about 10 possible leaders. You're actually lucky if you had 1, to be honest with you. But I'm being optimistic. But you got to take care of your leadership. And 3, you got to have systems. So what causes growth? You got to have a sense of opportunity, you got to have leadership, and you have to have systems. When I put those 3 things in place, I hit the top of every compensation plan I've joined. And over the past 20 years, that's been 6. I use the same system, the same formula, the same approach. I'm not going to go over that today, but those 3 things are what cause growth in my organization. Let me make sure you guys write this down. It's very important. Let me just dive into a sense of opportunity, because a lot of you guys are going to miss this. A sense of opportunity equals vision plus urgency. Vision plus urgency. I'm not going to hit systems today, Mr. Best, and I won't hit leadership, because you guys got a phenomenal leader. But I do want to talk about this sense of opportunity. Do you guys really understand that what you're seeking is seeking you? Do you know that? Do you understand that there's no real difference between Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Bob Johnson and Oprah Winfrey or Mark Zuckerberg and all the people we look up to on Shark Tank or Mark Cuban or anybody else, there's no difference between them and you other than they saw an opportunity and they sensed it and they seized it. A lot of you guys see the opportunity and you in it. You might get on a motivational call. You might come to a couple of meetings. You might get on a webinar. You might text or call your upline. You stay in touch with Mr. Best, but you don't have what I call that urgency to make sure that your motivation comes from your situation. See, you got to stop looking for outside entities to make you whole. That's the difference with me. I had that sense of opportunity. I learned a long time ago that inspiration starts with IN for a reason. See, a lot of you guys look for motivation. You got to look for inspiration. Inspiration is when you wake up one day and realize that, you know what? I got to have my own little internal pilot light that I can crank up. I don't need to call Mr. Best. I don't need to call the founder of the company, the top producer. I don't necessarily have to have Jim Rohn and Les Brown every single day, every single minute to pump me up. Don't get me wrong. Motivation is great, but understand that it's external. The minute I learned how to build inspiration, I became a seven-figure earner. That's why inspiration starts with IN, but it doesn't happen until you get that sense of opportunity. It doesn't happen until you have that urgency. So no Bob Johnson and Bill Gates and Zuckerberg. These guys aren't any different from you other than they had vision where there was none, and they had the urgency to go with that vision. See, as a networker, this is what you guys got to realize. You won't be successful at anything until you adopt this philosophy. Write this down. Take your time, but hurry up. Take your time, but hurry up. What that means is, so you got to have that, what we call relaxed intensity. In other words, I got to change my situation. I got to stop looking for motivation. I got to build some inspiration, but I got to understand that success doesn't come overnight. It didn't happen for Zuckerberg either. Do you think Facebook just popped up? No, that's been in the making 7, 8, 9 years before you even was able to log in. You see what I'm saying? But they had the urgency to get it done, but the success didn't happen overnight. And there lies the difference. I'm going to give you a formula. And I'm going to get off here because I mess around and do this whole call and have y'all mad at me. Let me give you a quick formula when it comes to take your time but hurry up. Thoughts multiplied by actions plus time equals result. You guys will find out that I'm very formulaic. If you build your business and you live your life with certain success pillars and principles and formulas, then you won't let anything take you outside of that. That's why integrity to me is the utmost. Consistency to me is the utmost. Perseverance to me is the utmost. Common sense to me is the utmost, right? Vision to me, leadership to me, work ethic to me. These are the things that I've built my whole life on. So once you have your pillars and your formulas, nothing can take me outside of my integrity. Nothing can take me outside of my focus. Nothing can take me outside of my vision. Nothing can take me outside of my work ethic. Well, this formula is one of the formulas I live by, and that's your thought. Multiplied by action plus time equals results. Guys, you can't switch it. This is how you get the urgency. This is how you get the sense of opportunity. You got to have everything begin with your thoughts first, because everything happens twice in your life. First mentally, then physically. If you look around your room right now, everything you see is a manifestation of somebody else's thought. If you look at your life right now, everything you're experiencing is a manifestation of your thought. If your bank account is negative, that's not the current you anyway. That's the old you. It showed up this morning in your account. You see? Look, when I was broke and didn't have a dime, I was broke, but I wasn't poor. Broke is a temporary situation. Poor is a permanent state of mind. So when I didn't have a dime, I said, you know what? That's the old me. The old me had some problems. The old me had some situations. It just showed up in my account this morning. That's why my account negative. So in order for me to become a 6- and 7-figure earner on my way to 8, I got to change the current me so that the future me will look different than the past me. That all was a manifestation of my thought. Write that down. I'm telling you, that'll get you a long way. Your life is a direct manifestation of a story being told in your head. So I don't care. If you look around right now, as I look around my room, I see a flat screen TV, I see some DVDs, I see a bed, I see some lamp, I see my dresser. Everything I'm looking at was once in somebody else's head. This bed, somebody had to manufacture this thing, but it was on paper first. These lamps, my curtains, this mirror, this flat screen, this iPhone I'm talking on, all of this once was somebody's idea. Now it shows up in physical form. You understand? So your life is a direct manifestation of the thought or the story being told in your head. If your relationships are sour, if your finances are down, if your business is not growing, it has nothing to do with half the things people focus on. It has everything to do with what your thought patterns are. I won't get too deep into that tonight, but that's very important. Now, once your thoughts are right and you multiply that by action, those two things start to coexist and nothing can stop you. The problem, see, what's good for here's the thing. What's true for the positive is also true for the negative. The universe doesn't work any other way. So what that means is if you have negative thoughts, then your bank account is negative. If you have negative thoughts, your relationship is negative. If you have negative thoughts, all your friendships are negative. If you have negative thoughts, your health is negative. Well, guess what? The same is true for the negative. It's true for the opposite. God made it that way. Everything has an opposite, right? Hot, cold, north, south, sweet, sour, white, black, red, blue. Everything has an opposite. So what that means is if you switch your thoughts, your actions can't help but go with that. So now abundance equals fat bank account. Abundance equals healthy relationships. Abundance equals health and wellness. Abundance equals long-term investment. You see, I got tired of my glass being half empty or half full. I wanted my cup to run up over. So I had to have an abundance attitude. I don't know who taught you that you had to pick between half empty and half full. What happened to my cup run up over? I don't have a big enough cup for what I want. You understand? That's your thought. When you multiply your thoughts by your actions, now as I conclude, all you got to do is give it enough time. See, I coach a lot of networkers all over the country. I train a lot of companies all over the world. And this is what I hear consistently. This is what I teach consistently. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the industry. It doesn't matter how long you've been in your company. What matters is the number of 0 days you add up. Give you an example. A lot of people say, Brian, I've been in the company, man, 2 years. And it's just not working. I said, well, if I was to parachute into your life, you've been in the company 2 years, but you've been working the business for 17 days. See, everybody want to multiply 365 times 2 and tell me they've been in the business 700 days. But really, you've been working the business for 17. So don't talk to me about your result if you're not really going to give it enough time. Time and tenure are two different things. I know you've been in the business 8 months, but you've been working the business for 4 weeks. I know you've been in the business 3 years, but if I add your 0 days up, you've been working the business for 9 months. You see? So you got to understand, tenure and time are two different things. Only then when you get your result. And Mr. Best, as I promise you, as long as people understand you can't switch these formulas around, they've been around long before we were even born. You got to just learn how to play by the rules that the universe has already set for you, and then you can have the abundance that God and the universe has in store for you. So, hey, man, I want to take a lot of time. I really appreciate it. Just remember, man, 3 things cause growth: sense of urgency, sense of opportunity, your leadership, and your systems. And I'm looking forward to doing some things with you, Mr. Best. I really am. And it's my honor, man. I appreciate it. I'm here as long as you need.
Hey, look, that's a drop the mic moment, Mr. Beane. I was taking notes and writing them down so fast because it's so many things I could comment on, and we've covered some of the things different ways. And we got a thing we say hurry up and go slow. That's one of the things we say all the time. Hurry up and go slow. Okay, give yourself time to succeed. I mean, you covered a lot of things that we touched on, but I tell you what, I wanted to laugh because I haven't found a better way to say that. In networking, in carrot bars, or in any network marketing program, we don't get paid for tenure, baby. It's a meritocracy. You got to perform. And when you say tenure, there's no tenure here. And some people do think they have tenure, Mr. Beane. You know, I've been in 5 years. My check, well, yeah, I understand how long you've been in, but what have you done since? Okay, I understand when you signed the application, but what have you done? What kind of commitment have you made? Okay, and it's the craziest kind of thought process. So you covered that so well, Crack. I had to laugh when you said, I wrote that down. Oh, I got to remember that. Because some people do actually believe they get paid for tenure.
That's right.
So, man, you cover some stuff. You cover some stuff there to just create a sense of urgency for opportunity. You know, we have a tremendous opportunity, but to get people to grab that sense of urgency about it is something else. So, did you have any other closing comments you want to make? Because, like I said, we're here, and I'm not trying to rush you off or anything like that. I'm not trying to take a lot of your time, but if you had anything else you wanted to add on top of that might just pop in your brain just now.
Well, the bottom line, man, I'm telling everybody, a large percentage of you guys under the leadership of Mr. Best, I'm telling you, do you understand that you would never work again? Like, and I'm so serious. This was told to me in 1996, and I retired and fired my boss in 1997. A gentleman told me, he's a billionaire today, that, Brian, you'll never work again. But that's contingent upon you being able to empty out a lot of the traditional things that you were taught and let people who are immensely successful pour into you. And then you give these formulas I'm teaching you enough time. And some of you guys on this call don't understand that, but your days of working are a thing of the past. But this is what you got to remember. You have to work first before something else starts working for you. You have to work first before something else starts working for you. And see, I study asset accumulation. I understand investing. I understand the power of capitalism and cash, and how to build wealth. And this is one thing I learned a long time ago. Something has to work, just not me. And so you'll get to a point where that becomes a reality for you guys. Something has to work, just not me. So now my passive income pays my bills. My investments pay my bills. My investments bring more investments. My assets bring more assets. My liabilities are slim to none. See, freedom and wealth is contingent upon the number of assets that you guys build. And that's what you're doing on a daily basis. And if a person can't understand that, they're just not on your frequency right now. They don't need to even be on your watch right now. You can come back and scoop them up later. But right now, you got to keep on rolling because you got a philosophy and some pillars that you stand on, that you believe in. And you got to remember that other people, they may not be ready right now, and that's fine. But the more they see you succeed, the more ready they become. So you got to go ahead and become that shining example of a person that, hey, you say, hey, I said it, I meant it, and I did it. That's all you guys got to understand is that nobody's going to lay out the golden road for you. No pun intended. But nobody's going to lay out the golden road for you, pick you up like some angel and just sweep you on up to the top. No, it's going to be a little challenging. But that's just the universe's and God's way of testing you to see if you deserve the reward that he has in store for you. See, that's the difference. Don't get mad when it gets a little challenging. You got to say, hey, you know what? That's part of the test. Mr. Beane said it. Mr. Best said it. Everybody that's been in this industry a long time said it. That's just part of the test. Now I got to go get the reward that's waiting on me when I pass this test. That's the key. So build your assets. Get your cash flow right. Have your investments ready. Start thinking long term. Make sure you focus on the future, not the present. And then I promise you, the people that aren't supporting you along the way, you won't even remember them when you get there. The money going to clean you up anyway. All right. Thanks a lot, man. I look forward to working with you, man. We're going to do some big things.
All right. We're going to do something else. No question about it. Hey, thank you very much, Mr. Beane. Appreciate it. Miss Sherry Brown, I want to turn this call back over to you, and let's open up this queue and hear from some other people. Mr. Beane, appreciate your time very, 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 very much. I'm sure everybody on the team does. Thank you.
Never a problem, man. Anytime.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. I'm just speechless. I'm telling you, Best Beane and Brown, But, Mr. Beane, I really, really appreciate your knowledge, your wisdom, your time that you have shared with us this morning. And just like Mr. Best, I've taken so many notes. I got shorthand on this side and on that side, so I have to go back and make this thing in longhand so I can understand what I have written. But sense of opportunity, leadership, and system. And you said, sir, take your time, but hurry up. And my thing has been, go slow, but do it fast. So I really, really thank you for that. And I know even when I say that, people might not understand how you can go slow, but do it fast. And it's the same as taking your time, but hurry up. So, I mean, I really appreciate you, sir, so much. Mr. Best, of course, you are a phenomenal leader. We thank you, sir, for Wealth Builders Worldwide and just allowing us to be a part of your dream, because your dream was awakened again, and your dream was to create millionaires. And so we thank you for allowing us to be a part of that. And for you guys, just know everything that Mr. Beane has said, we have it right here in our hand. What do you have in your hand? So with that being said, what we're going to do is, yes.
1 second. Before you open the queue real quick,
okay.
I got to add one other thing, because I think it's sort of funny. And just bear with me, folks. It's going to sound crazy, and I hope Mr. Beane hear this, because, like I say, I saw the video, you got to get mad. And I said, wow. And the video sort of cranked me up, because I was actually lying in bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and saw that video where the first thing Mike sent some over to Delco, and it sort of woke me up. Then I watched that video by Mr. Beane, and it got me out of bed. Now, I'm pretty highly motivated anyway, but it actually made me get out of bed. I said, man, this young brother fired me up today. I said, I'm out of bed doing stuff at 7 o'clock in the morning, which is, not normal for me, Mr. Beane. So I'm like, I'm cranked up. I'm running around. I'm fired up. And then when he said yesterday that he met me in 1996, I almost fell out the car and just fell out laughing. It's funny, boy.
It's a fact.
The universe is funny. You have no idea what's going on half the time. I mean, I came over and told my wife, she said, wait a minute, let me get this straight. You got fired up watching a guy video that you helped introduce to the industry in 1996? I said, iron sharpens iron. I said, the brother's bringing a message. It's serious. He retired at 22. I respect knowledge and information. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care where he got it from. I recognize it when I see it. And again, that statement they made, game, recognize game. Well, guess what? Mr. Brian Beane got game. I recognize the game. I didn't understand that I might have been a source of inspiration for the game. I didn't understand that. I just recognized it when I saw it. And so I appreciate you one more time. I just wanted to add that story there because it blew me away yesterday. And when you said that, because I truly had no idea. Because we built that organization so fast back in 1996. We're talking the company grew to 400,000 people, and we built an organization. Anyway, it's a long story. Forget all that. Point is, thank you again. Back to you, Ms. Brown.